Hi, and welcome to the second tentative tutorial. My name is Sylvester Hansen, and I will be your artist slash narrator for this small walkthrough of my process. Today it's going to be all about thumbnails and tiny little sketches, and in all honesty, I did plan to make a larger video today where I actually did a finished piece for you. However, what you're seeing right now on the screen, all of these amazing thumbnails, took forever to do. So I decided that rather than giving you something that might be semi-done, I would just focus on thumbnails for this video. So here we go. Here we start. To begin with, if you saw my last video, I did this, I would call it very geometric house design, and it turned out fine. That was not really the point, though. The point was that it wasn't what I would call challenging for me. So, for this design, I tried to think about the scenario which I had set up for myself. The scenario was a story in which a nomadic tribe has been stranded on a deserted planet for a number of years. So they would have to be self-sufficient based on the technology that they had coming there. Um, so I tried to think, okay, well, what kind of technology would they have? And I decided, well, they would definitely have some sort of drone type technology. If they were capable of interplanetary travel, they would probably also be capable of drone technology. So that's where I started. Now I won't say that's where I ended up, but that's definitely where I started. So what you see here, some of these first ones are very drone inspired. You see a lot of them have um, motors or engines of some kind that definitely allow them to travel. Now this, of course, disappears as I go into a different technique later, and I will introduce you to that technique when it comes about. But you will see a lot of this, a lot of what I'm designing right now is really just based off of random ideas of how something might work. This actually kind of looks like a building, doesn't it? I don't know what I'm doing there. Um, as you'll realize as more of these tutorials come into place, I rarely know what I'm doing. It's just me shooting things into the darkness. Um, and I think that's actually one of the important things to learn when you're learning to draw, is that to not take yourself too seriously. I think that a lot of people, a lot of artists especially, take themselves very seriously. They're very keen on what they do, and because art by itself is rarely taken super seriously, partly because of the myth of talent, which I'll get into later, um, and partly because a lot of us, a lot of the people who actually do this are super into video games, and video games by themselves not the thing that people take the most seriously, and I think that adds to a very, very serious discourse within the art, at least the professional concept art industry. And I don't know. I think it's good and it's bad. It has its positive and negative side. The negative, of course, being maybe it's not aggressively fun all the time. So what you can see now on the screen is I've actually started to go away from the drone-inspired designs and into, well, just before you saw vehicle, and now, spoiler alert, I'm going into something a little bit more maritime based. This sketch that you're seeing now, I actually really liked, but the problem was I didn't know how to finish it. So I have these, I don't know, tubes, or I don't know what you'd call them, and I think they're working out really well, and I'm really getting them. And then I'm just sort of, you can see it's happening in any second now. Yeah, here we go. I just sort of stick them on a plane and don't really do anything with them. I don't really work with them. I can't really figure out what to do. So they just sort of become this weird thing that I made that I didn't know what to do with, which I mean is fine. What you'll see, just going through what just happened there really quick. A lot of the time I will make a very quick, very nonsense sketch just to sort of clear my head and sort of shake myself up, because doing this, and as I said, this took longer than I thought it would. Doing this can really be very intense work. So back to the point that I had before, that a lot of the times I don't know what I'm doing, which I actually made into an asset in terms of what I was doing. I actually think that might be happening right now. No, no, sorry. This one is also one of those. Yeah, just me trying things out. So yeah, I was thinking maybe doing something spider or insect like. So here you go with the insect legs, which actually doesn't make any sense if there's a wheel. Why would you need like an insect part to it? So what you see here is actually me working with the randomness of my drawing style. So what I did here was I closed my eyes and I just made a scribble. Just made a random scribble. And I decided to say, you know what, I'm going to work with the scribble rather than against. I know a lot of people do this, and I know a lot of people advocate this, and I don't know, I'm just late to the game, I guess. It's actually a lot of fun, but I can say though, I don't think I would have been able to get the amount of content out of the scribbles you're seeing now if I wasn't able to make all of the constructions you saw earlier and in the last video. Um, this is something that this will probably be a theme throughout my videos, but um, learning how to draw is a lot about doing a lot of very tedious work. Um, and it's really frustrating because when you start drawing, um, you'll see a lot of people be very, very good at drawing, and you'll very quickly be disheartened because you're trying that. I mean, look at what's happening here. This is taking no time at all, and all of a sudden there's like this satellite thing, and I mean, I'm just doing these sketch things and making something happen, but you have to understand that this is the epicenter of several years of work. As I mentioned last time, 5 years I have been doing this, not professionally. As I also mentioned, I have just finished my master's degree from a design school. So I've been just drawing for myself for 5 years, and as I also mentioned last time, I do not think I'm good yet. I mean, there are people like Feng Zhu or Cynics. Both of them have tutorial series online on YouTube. I strongly encourage you to check those out. Who I look up to immensely, and one of the reasons that I started to make this tutorial series was that I saw these people doing such great work and advocating a lot of work and really preaching the truth. And I thought one thing that isn't being said, or at least is not being said enough, is the fact that everybody starts from square one. This is something that I have actually had a lot of debates with a lot of friends, and my brother and I have been in large debates about this. I do not believe in talent. I do not believe talent exists. I do not believe talent is a thing. And this, of course, can be counterintuitive based on the fact that you're seeing a very sped up version of me just drawing my little heart out. But you have to understand, I was not good from day one at drawing. I would actually say that I'm still not very good at it, but that's, of course, comparative. I think that talent is destructive. The myth of talent is destructive because people start believing that either you have the magic of something or you don't. Either you're just born great at guitar or an amazing artist. And if you were, good for you. And if you're not, then you could just, I don't know, go out and learn a craft or something. It's this idea that only a privileged few are able to do something, and the rest of us mere mortals just have to sit back and accept fate. and try to find our talent. Um, I find that incredibly destructive because it is not telling the full story. The full story is nobody is born with the capability of drawing. As you can see here, I'm actually deleting a lot of my work. Um, just speaking to the fact that this was not something that just happened. I'm not always happy with what I do, and most people aren't always happy with what they do. The best that you can do is just try and try and then try a bit more, and it's a really, really boring truth because you want for talent to exist. You want for people to just be magically amazing at something. And when you realize that it takes a lot of work, and I mean a lot of work, to get into that place that you want to be that good, it can be disheartening. Um, I can only tell you the experience that I had, which made drawing a viable option for me. When I started the design school some 5 years ago, I had a 5 week long course of technical drawing. Now, this was not the best course in the world. I've come to learn later. There was a lot of the fundamentals we didn't go over. A lot of it was rushed. I mean, this was all in all just 5 weeks. And alongside that, I had another assignment, which was drawing 100 drawings in one semester, simply just filling out a notebook. So by the start of the semester, I had started drawing, and I thought that I had a handle on how I drew and what I was capable of. I had even gone so far as to assign the term style to the lack of drawing that I was capable of. I was just accepting that this particular way of drawing was my style, and that would just never change. And I just had to work with it rather than against it. So I had this 5 week technical drawing course in which we drew nothing but cubes. Um, Something that I, by the way, will very much encourage you to do. If you think that you're going to draw or be drawing all, do the cube thing. It's incredibly frustrating because the only thing you're literally doing is just drawing a three-dimensional cube over and over and over again. And there are many videos about this also online. It is what Feng Shui refers to as the fundamentals, simply just learning how does perspective work. So I did that for 5 weeks, and I had fun. There was something meditative about drawing that way. So I did that for 5 weeks, and then I drew, and where I didn't draw in my sketchbook, my assigned sketchbook, and then I drew again in my assigned sketchbook, and the before and after drawings of that one course were astounding. And to somebody who considered themselves bad at drawing, or to somebody who considered that they couldn't draw or would never draw, this one little victory was enough to set the gears in motion. Um, and after that, I remember watching The Princess and the Frog, the Disney movie, and being captivated by that drawing style, and then thinking to myself, well, that's how I'm going to draw. That's what I want to be. I want to be an animator. I want to be able to do that. And throughout my art career, that's actually been a pretty permeating theme that I've said, well, this person draws really well. I want to do that. And then just spent half a year trying and failing to copy whatever I saw, whatever I thought that person was doing. Um, but that's actually not bad or wrong. The most important thing when learning to draw is that you draw. If you're doing fan art, so be it. If you're doing, I don't know, drawings of trucks only, so be it. The most important thing is that you stick to it, you make a routine for yourself, and you make sure that you're always, always working towards bettering yourself as a designer and as an artist. Um, which is one of the reasons that I can say, well, I'm not very good now. I don't consider myself very good. I don't find what I do particularly impressive, despite whatever you might think you see on screen. Sped up, things always look more impressive. Um, so, the idea basically is just keep at it. Even if it seems like you're not going anywhere, just keep at it. One of the things that you see now, just going completely back to what you're seeing on the screen, what you're seeing now is one of the other things that I'm also preaching. I'm preaching a lot today. I'm sorry about that. Which is whatever works works. So what I did a lot here by the end, I'd gotten pretty fatigued with drawing by this point in my process. So um, rather than completely redrawing something or trying something new at, I actually did this thing where you see it there, where I basically just took something and just mirrored it over. I call it the toaster technique because it makes everything seem flat like a toaster. So you see it there. Um, and then I just sort of fill out the blanks. And frankly, it worked. It's fun to watch where because I'm almost finished here, so it's fun to watch where I ended up um, in terms of these thumbnails, where I started thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna do something drone-ish, and it should be for this tribe and whatever. I ended up really just ideating shapes, just trying to figure out what is the kind of shape, the kind of visual language that this tribe would use when before they here I drew a dude because I thought that sort of looked like a dude. Anyways, I ended up trying to figure out, well, what kind of a visual universe do they live in. Um, so this is actually the last thumbnail that you're going to see from me today. Um, from For this one, I thought that I wanted to do something that was a little bit less toastery, a little bit less like just here's the front, here's the side, here's the back. This is a square, and you're done. Um, yeah, I can't say. As you've probably noticed, because this is a thumbnail video, there are going to be more parts to it. I am going to be creating one of these illustrations fully. Um, so to sum up, this was my um, insight on thumbnail drawing, which actually went into, well, what is drawing in general and how do you learn it. And I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed both drawing and recording it. As I said, there are going to be more parts to this video. This was the first. The next one I am going to pick out one of these thumbnails and draw it up like I did in the last video, and then possibly there's going to be one after that in which I color the video. So thank you for being with me. I hope you had fun. I definitely did. And I hope to see you in the next video. So, goodbye.